So I started the first chunk by getting the 8 color guard members that needed to be on rifle. I created aisles for them to travel down. Then I had to get the flags back together and the rifles on the field in the middle. Then I did the low brass and the drum line to match. Then I made sure to get my paths right in the color guard so that the 12 count transition looked as good as possible. Then I added some spinning in the flags and we were done with the first chunk. The second chunk was 3 pages of 16, and I got the winds in front kind of skewed and off and allowed a window for the rifles. I made some pass-through aisles for the flags in the back. Spent some time trying to get the rifles in the center into the correct pyramid. Kind of rotated them down, got the winds pulled back, and got the rifles brought back out. I did this a couple different ways and finally came to a different way of doing it. Moved the low brass and trumpets into blocks that rotate into the center. And then finally brought them down into a windowed block to the center for the hold. Again, I was still trying to find a good mix up front with people coming, with the rifles coming on right at them. I wanted to kind of wrap them and keep them connected to the trumpets and that sort of thing. So I kind of did this a couple different ways, and then finally came to the end, made some curved paths as well so that it looked good. So the next chunk was a couple different sets here, 12s and 16s. I wanted to go asymmetrical here, so I got the low brass and the percussion kind of moved first, moved the rifles off to side 2. Found a couple different ways to do the trumpet pathing so that they could take a straight path. This thing on the side 2 with the woodwinds coming across, I did a couple different ways until finally I figured out they needed to follow the leader back instead of forward. Found a good mix here of how I could get the rifles into pairs. That took me a little while. I did a couple curved path ideas as well. And once I finally got this follow the leader to go the correct direction, instead of trying to come up front, I went behind. That's when the whole thing fell like dominoes. And I went, oh yeah, this is great. Made the blocked window for all the rest of the winds that were playing the melody, and then got the color guard in the back caught up to help frame everything properly. And then it turned out really nice. So the color guard pairs are in the bottom right hand corner and the flags color in the back. And this hold set was a really nice set for the kids to sound great in. Next up was to try to get the rifles. The AB rifle lines were kind of separated, so that's what I did next. Made a nice French curve to frame them. Did the trumpets a couple different ways till I found the best way to do it. I only had 16 counts before a big hold, so I made, it's a similar looking form, but it's really pretty, I think, in the end. All right, so next up, I was beginning to kind of get everyone back and maybe get symmetrical for the end of the form. So I did the rifles first, got them moved back to the 50. I wanted to do some pods and some groupings here so that the kids could make a form and have it travel, so it was easy for them to move, because they had some kind of technical parts and I didn't want to have them have to worry too much about interval if they could just keep the form. So I made all these pods and moved them and kind of built this whole thing from front to back until the very end. So low brass was last, got them put into their pods and adjusted those as we went page to page just to make sure that they were taking a consistent stride. Windowing it, and then I went and layered the last page. Every 4 counts they moved into their arcs to match the music. I did the same thing with the color guard. Took me a little while to figure out a good mix and a good look, but it ended up looking great. Then I went back through and added some color guard visuals and spinning. And of course, the very last bit is formatting. So I went through, just put some stuff on the grid that could be on the grid, made some things and optimized the drill. Of course, added all my measure numbers, and then added all my information into notes 1 in my production sheet so I could have all that information at the bottom of the drill charts for the client, and just added it in, went 1 page at a time, made sure I had all my arrows, any groupings or people who needed to step off, had that done, and just redid a couple little things here and there just to make it look great. Made up my PDFs and then sent it off to UDB and emailed my client. and all was good.
Please like and subscribe to my channel if you like these Pyware videos.